Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get straight to the knowledge. Today, we're doing something a little different, actually, but I think incredibly insightful. We're not just dissecting an article, no. We're peeling back the layers of a really meticulously designed learning experience, our source. It's excerpts from Gym English, your fitness vocabulary and instruction guide.
Gym English. Sounds specific.
Right, but stick with us. This guide, it lays out an intermediate-level English session. It charts the journey of a beginner, this guy Alex, who's stepping into a gym for the very first time.
Okay, so fish out of water scenario.
Exactly. And his guide, Sarah, helps him navigate this whole new world, teaches him how to talk about fitness, exercise. Our mission, really, in this deep dive is to extract the most potent lessons, not just about language, but about how we master any new skill in an unfamiliar environment.
Yeah, that's what's really compelling here, because while the surface goal is, okay, build confidence using fitness words, for us, it becomes a kind of masterclass in structured communication and skill acquisition, really. It reveals this sophisticated blueprint for approaching any new field. Could be learning guitar, some complex software, maybe even just navigating a new social thing.
Yeah.
It takes the learner from feeling uncertain to, confident action, from asking for help to actually following instructions, maybe even giving them eventually.
That's spot on. We'll look at how this guide weaves together essential gym vocabulary. Think treadmill, dumbbells.
Usual suspects.
Yeah, yoga mat, exercise bike, with the practical application of the language, how it works.
Okay.
We'll check out the power of those imperative verbs, the command words for giving instructions,
Yeah.
and also the subtle art of polite questions when you need help.
That's crucial when you're starting out.
Totally. We'll break down specific exercises too, like push-ups, squats, sit-ups, and of course, the vital warm-up and cool-down bits.
What's interesting is that this guide isn't just a list. It feels like a thoughtfully designed narrative.
Yeah. How so?
Well, it breaks down the whole gym experience
Yeah.
into these digestible, actionable scenarios. Like, picture the sequence.
Okay.
You start with polite greetings, asking for that initial help. Then you move to identifying the equipment. Then you're doing exercises with clear directions like bend your knees, keep your back straight. Ooh, don't forget to breathe.
Oh yeah, the breathing one is always key.
Always. And it even covers ending the session politely. It's this whole cycle of learning, which is incredibly effective because it mirrors how we actually engage in the real world, builds competence step by step.
So what does this mean for you listening? It means we're going way beyond just translating gym terms.
Much deeper.
We're looking at the clever architecture of learning itself, how clear dialogue, precise step-by-step instructions, highlighted vocabulary, and that focus on grammar imperatives, a polite request. So these aren't just academic ideas.
No, they're the real deal.
They're the actual building blocks for real-world confidence, for mastery. So let's dive in. Let's see what surprising insights we can uncover about learning from this guide. Okay, let's really try and put ourselves in Alex's sneakers for a second. Imagine walking into a gym. Maybe it is your first time.
Intimidating.
Totally.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of equipment, the noises, the kind of unspoken rules.
Yeah.
It can feel like you've landed on another planet where everyone else knows the secret language.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So the Gym English Guide tackles this head on. It starts with Sarah, the trainer, greeting Alex right at the entrance. That's such a crucial first step, isn't it? For any beginner in any new, maybe overwhelming place.
Absolutely. The first hurdle isn't lifting the weight. It's just walking in and making contact. It's social.
Right.
And what makes that first interaction so insightful isn't just Alex learning hello. It's the way they deliberately model polite, indirect questions.
Ah, okay. Tell me more about that.
Well, think about it. When you're new, you don't want to seem totally clueless, right? Or like you're interrupting someone important.
Definitely not.
So the guide doesn't just give words. It gives a kind of a social script for navigating that uncertainty.
A social script. I like that.
Yeah. Phrases like, could you show me how to use this machine? Or, would you mind helping me with the weights? They're chosen carefully. They show respect, they acknowledge the trainer's expertise, and crucially, they lower the beginner's anxiety. They give them a clear, graceful way to ask for help. It empowers them to engage confidently, not just, linguistically.
A social script.
Yeah.
That's such a powerful way to frame it. It really isn't just language learning. It's learning how to navigate the social space.
Exactly.
And once that first social hurdle is handled so well, Alex moves on.
Yeah.
The next logical step, figuring out the equipment.
Yep. The intimidating machines.
Right. The guide systematically introduces terms like treadmill, weights, dumbbells, yoga mat, exercise bike. But it's not just a dry list, is it? The scenario implies Sarah's pointing, maybe demonstrating.
Probably explaining the purpose of each thing.
Exactly. It's learning that's visual, auditory,
Yeah.
and, importantly, kinetic. You're connecting it to movement.
And that brings us to a really key idea in effective learning.
Yeah.
Anchoring the vocabulary to physical things and actions.
Multisensory learning.
Precisely. That approach in action. When Alex hears treadmill, he's seeing it, maybe touching it, connecting the word straight to its function. It's not just memorizing a definition from a book.
No, much more effective.
It's about forming stronger connections in the brain by using multiple senses at once, seeing, hearing, and pretty soon, doing. That integrated approach really boosts retention, especially for practical skills, makes the knowledge much stickier.
Yeah, definitely stickier than just reading a dictionary entry for dumbbell.
Right.
And from there, Alex transitions into the actual exercises. The guide specifically mentions push-ups, sit-ups, and squats, plus general stretches. This is where the learning gets really physical, embodied, and where the instructions become so important. For effectiveness, sure, but also for safety. It's one thing to know the word squat. It's another thing entirely to do it right, without hurting yourself.
Absolutely. A lot of language guides might stop at the noun, the name of the exercise, but this one dives into the verbs, the action words.
Which leads us to the imperative verbs.
Indeed. And this is where the guide's focus on imperatives really shines. It's quite an elegant way to handle practical instruction, actually.
Also,
Imperatives are direct commands, right? Bend your knees, keep your back straight, don't forget to breathe. They implicitly address you. They strip away extra words, create immediate, clear action.
it's right to the point.
Exactly. For a beginner in a physical place like a gym, that directness is critical. It simplifies complex movements into clear steps, which not only helps with doing it right, but it also builds a sense of control, of agency, in what can feel like an intimidating space. The language itself empowers the learner, makes it active, not just passive listening.
You know, I found it really striking how the source material frames these instructions.
Yeah.
They're step-by-step, yes, but embedded in a clear dialogue. It's not just Sarah barking orders.
Right, it's a conversational.
It's
And
supportive.
Yeah. Like for a squat, Sarah might say, okay, Alex, for the squat, first, bend your knees like you're sitting in a chair. Then maybe, no, keep your back straight, good. And then remember, don't forget to breathe.
That back and forth is crucial.
It really is. The beginner asks questions, gets immediate feedback. The trainer offers precise, encouraging guidance. That's the core of effective skill transfer, isn't it? It bridges that gap between understanding something in your head and actually doing it with your body.
And that's the absolute essence of guided practice. Alex isn't just told what to do. He's actively guided through it, getting real-time correction and reinforcement.
Yeah. The genius of the guide is how it systematically pulls these elements together. Vocabulary highlights for the gear and the movements, that explicit focus on the imperative verbs, and the clear supportive dialogue.
It all works together.
Exactly. This integrated approach directly supports the main goal, building confidence in a fitness setting. Because confidence, well, it isn't just about knowing facts, right?
No, it's about being able to act effectively and safely.
Precisely.
And what's interesting is that the scenario doesn't just cover the intense part, the main workout. The guide thoughtfully includes the ending the session part, too.
Ah, the cool down. Important.
Yeah, covering cooling down and offering polite thanks. This completes the entire arc of a gym visit, from walking in, working out, to leaving respectfully.
It's a very holistic view of skill acquisition. It acknowledges that there's a socially recognized beginning, middle, and a polite, structured end to pretty much any successful interaction. That's a detail often missed in learning materials.
That's a great point.
What's really remarkable here is that the guide isn't just about the physical exercise or the words for it. It's about the whole social and communicative ritual of being in that gym environment.
The whole ritual. Yeah.
From the first hello and asking for help, through the details of the workout to the cool down and saying thank you. By giving a complete framework for interaction, it helps the learner feel competent not just physically, but socially too. That layer of social integration is what really lifts it, I think, from just a vocabulary list to a proper immersion experience.
So it really does become this deep dive into how language and social dynamics work in practice. We're seeing how deliberately practicing those action verbs, stand, bend, lift, breathe, combined with the context of specific gym stuff, builds real fluency.
Mm.
It's way more effective than just memorizing flashcards because you're doing it. You're embodying the language, and the language is embodying the actions, like a feedback loop.
Absolutely. The teaching elements section in the guide explicitly calls out clear dialogue with step-by-step exercise instructions and vocabulary highlights for both equipment and body movement verbs.
Reinforcing that idea.
Exactly. It reinforces the idea that effective learning, whether it's, I don't know, cooking something new, learning an instrument, or like Alex navigating a gym, often involves breaking down complex stuff into digestible steps, supported by precise, context-specific words.
The clarity of the language supports the safety and effectiveness of the action.
Play put.
And what's really brilliant, I think, is that they don't just leave you hanging, passively absorbing all this. The original material actually finishes with a mini role-play challenge.
Oh, interesting. Putting it into practice.
Right? It encourages the listeners to practice by giving instructions to a pretend gym buddy. That's where the learning really sticks, doesn't it? When you move from just understanding to actively producing the language, applying the skill yourself.
Yeah, that's a huge step.
It empowers you to take on the guide role, not just the follower role, which is, the ultimate goal of real mastery.
Definitely. Moving from receptive to productive skill.
So here's what makes this deep dive, I think, truly insightful. We started off looking at a guide for gym English. It seems niche, right?
A little bit, yeah.
But what we uncovered was something much more profound than just vocabulary lists. We found this highly sophisticated masterclass in how to effectively learn and teach practical communication and new skills in any unfamiliar setting.
It's the template that's so valuable.
Exactly, the structured approach. From those first, anxiety-reducing polite greetings and asking for help, through specifically naming and understanding the treadmill or the yoga mat in context, all the way to the precise instructions for push-ups and squats. It provides this powerful, transferable template for learning anything new.
And if we connect that to, say, broader principles of learning, even human psychology, the guides focus on clear dialogue, breaking down movements into those actionable imperative verbs, and modeling polite requests like, could you show me? It isn't just about language. Fundamentally, it's about building confidence and competence through this carefully designed informational and social scaffolding.
Scaffolding, yeah, that's a good word for it.
This process just brilliantly shows how any complex task, any intimidating environment can be made accessible, made navigable, by focusing on the right words, clear instructions, and a supportive, structured environment, just like Alex had with Sarah.
Right. It wasn't just about knowing the word dumbbell. It was understanding how to use it safely, how to follow cues like bend your knees, how to gracefully cool down and say thanks at the end.
The whole package.
The promise of the original guide was, okay, by the end of Alex's session, you'll feel more confident talking about fitness in English. But the hidden lesson for us here is understanding how that confidence gets built. How it's engineered almost.
Which brings us to an important question for you, our listener. The Gym English Guide finished with that role-play challenge, encouraging active practice.
Right, the give instructions part.
So how can you apply this method, this way of breaking down a new skill into its essential, context-specific words, its clear, step-by-step imperative instructions, and those crucial, confidence-boosting, polite requests? How can you apply that to a challenge in your own life?
Good question.
Maybe it's a new hobby you're trying, or a task at work you need to get good at, or even just navigating a new social scene. What new language could you master simply by unpacking it with this structured, confident approach? Moving yourself from that initial beginner's anxiety to, well, empowered action.
It really is a powerful template for learning, something to think about.